open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
The Bulldog page is brought to you by Kaufman and Lind Injury Attorneys. Jeff Kaufman will be here next hour for Law and Disorder. If you want to get questions over to him, 22526. We'll get him in front of Jeff. Bulldog, I don't think there's any other way to start than with some actual sounds of, well, what turned out to be a joyous event yesterday afternoon in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Will they bunt Alexander? Down. Oh, it's perfect. He's Lake Mary's going to win the Little League World Series championship. Chinese Taipei in shock. It was fielded and thrown to first base. Nobody was there. And for the first time, Florida are Little League World Series champions. 2-1 is the final.
And we have full props to you, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, who before these guys played one single game in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, said they would win it all.
I said they would become the first Florida team to ever win the Little League World Series. And yes, it happened. The Lake Mary Cardiac Comeback Kids did it again yesterday. Unbelievable. These last two games, the U.S. Championship game on Saturday and then the game against Chinese Taipei yesterday. My God. You want to talk? That's like the most exciting, gripping baseball I think I've ever seen.
Truly. It was great.
It was great to watch. It really was. And yeah, I mean, it comes down to their last at bat and you know, the last inning, they tie it up and then it goes into extra innings and they end up winning the game 2-1 on a bunt that they used the Major League Baseball rule in extra innings where they put the guy on second. Okay. Starts out on second, so bunt's going to move him over to third. Well, guess what? Overthrow first base. Actually, there was nobody on first base for Chinese Taipei, so they overthrow the bunt throw, and boom, he scores. I
mentioned to Taco the irony that a fundamentally sound Chinese Taipei team, their undoing is a mistake in fielding.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a hell of a bunt, though.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a hell of a bunt that was
beautiful.
laid down.
Yeah, so. I told Pat at the beginning, and I even said to you, Dog, when we were getting ready to go on, what a great way for Central Florida and all of Florida and the U.S. to start a work week on a Monday. You're like, oh, Monday, who cares, man? It's awesome. The great feel-good story of Lake Mary Little Leaguers.
And there will be a celebratory parade for them through downtown Lake Mary Saturday at 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. More details
to
come.
Lunch.
I will be there in my glory. I might even take my shirt off.
It is it is Labor Day weekend.
No,
dude, that would be so funny if all of a sudden ESPN's there and all the world news or whatever.
Oh, random fat guy.
And here's Pat. Hey, shaking him around.
No, it's
by
awesome,
the way.
man.
What about the game on the game in the U.S. Championship where they beat the Texas team and the kids stole home to Raj Alexander? My God.
The big man!
The
Yes!
big man steals home while the pitcher wasn't looking, and boom, he gets in the home. That was a big play,
Fantastic.
too. Yeah, it was great to watch.
To wrap up here, is the Bulldog going to change his stance on this not being on TV?
Although, did you see the Taiwanese kids just crumpling and crying after they lost the game? But
how would you like if that was not shown? Answer Pat's question. You've always been against, Little League World Series being on national television. How would you like if that game was not shown?
I'm not saying that it wasn't entertaining to watch. I'm just questioning, putting the pressure on the kids. But I'll tell you what was really refreshing after those Chinese kids or the Taiwanese kids lost the game. Did you see the Lake Mary kids go up consoling them, hugging them? It was unbelievable.
And the coaches and everybody was like, hey, this is cool.
So anyway, yeah, it was a great run for Lake Mary. Florida teams were 0-9 as far as winning the overall Little League World Series, and now Lake Mary has done it. Florida State not so good though on Saturday.
A double whammy, not only a season opening loss but a conference loss.
Yeah, conference loss to Georgia Tech. 24-21, not exactly the way you wanted to, start the season after the unbeaten regular season. Last year, Georgia Tech had not beat a top 10 opponent in 15 straight games, but give Georgia Tech credit, man. They ran the ball at will against Florida State. I guess we should have maybe seen this coming. FSU lost 10 players to the NFL draft last year. You know, they filled their roster with the transfer portal, but that doesn't always work, and it certainly doesn't always work immediately. FSU's offensive lines and defensive lines just weren't very good against Georgia Tech. So, and they end up losing the game. I wonder now, I guess they could lose one more and still get into the 12-team playoff. But if they lose another conference game, man,
what do you think?
Are they out?
What do you think Herb Street was sitting there saying afterwards?
He was probably laughing, huh?
I guarantee.
As I wrote my column.
Oh, did you write that? Because
Yes.
I thought of it yesterday. I woke up and I go, I can't believe they really lost that with a field goal. And I go, oh, Herb Street, that dick is just going to be wallering in this.
Well, on game day Saturday, they were booing Herb Street every time he every time he talked. He was just drowned out by boos.
Mm-hmm. Some really funny signs too, man.
Oh yeah,
But a lot of the signs didn't get in, by the way.
Right? Yeah, I'm sure if you were astute and paying attention to social media, you know the ones we're referring to.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of upsets, what about Harrison Burton in the Coke Zero 400? The guy got already been fired from his ride for next season by the Wood Brothers, and he ends up winning the race, holding off the great Kyle Busch on the final lap of overtime to pick up his first career victory. Did you guys see the end of that race?
Yes, Kyle was there. Harrison passes him. Kyle put him below the yellow line. He could have wrecked him, but oh boy.
That's what Kyle Busch said. Besides just flat out wrecking him, there was nothing else I could do. He did take him down below the yellow line.
Yeah. How about the other irony of the weekend? The Coke Zero Sugar 400 sponsored car from Daniel Suarez going up in flames on pit road.
Yeah, the trunk caught on fire.
Yeah, I guess oil or gas went from Hamlin's car in pit road and spread onto Suarez's car engulfed in flames.
Junk in the trunk, man.
Yeah.
Are you guys forgetting about a certain desk we might need to go to?
Oh, the F1 desk. Yeah, we need to get over to the F1 desk while we're on motorsports. As F1 summer break is over, the completion of the Dutch Grand Prix.
All right. I said on Friday it was going to be neck and neck with Norris and Verstappen. And Norris takes the win.
There's no neck and neck. He won by 22 seconds.
Exactly. That's neck and neck in my F1.
Thank you from the newly remodeled F1 desk. And Taco Bob will check in with you again on Friday. Whenever. Hey, what else?
Golf.
Well, we had the golf, and then Orlando City got their asses handed to them, Bulldog.
Yeah, 3-0. They lose to Sporting KC, but the Orlando Pride, man, that's the soccer story in this city. They remain unbeaten. They win again over the weekend. They beat Houston 1-0, so the Pride 12-0-5 this year, atop the standings in the NWSL. What else we got?
Keegan Bradley, the BMW, right, Taco?
Yeah, now
Keegan Bradley won the BMW. Deion Sanders has banned the sports columnist in Denver from asking questions at his press conference. I mean, good Lord.
People are starting to really look even further down on him. Like, come on.
Coach not ready for prime time. Deion Sanders. Welcome to the big time.
By the way, with that golf, we didn't even hit it last week. This is the tournament before the big tournament. Before the final one, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
$25 million at stake in that final tournament, by the way.
Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game, and he comes in here to do the sports page each weekday morning during his show for us here on JR, brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
That's right. Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday morning, 7:30, FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions on your favorite streaming platform. Oh, oh.
Lynch and Taco. On demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.